Hey, Derry here, and today I'm going to be talking about why business plans are dead, and they have been for a decade, by the way, just most people haven't woken up to it. I've been preaching this story for quite a long time, and actually every year that goes by, it becomes more and more relevant. So I'm going to give you the 6 main reasons why business plans are dead, what to do about it, and also talk about the new tool for the new world of business. And I'm going to blow apart one of the myths, which is you still need business plans to raise money for banks. Not true. So let's start there, shall we? So a lot of people go, business plans are dead. Oh, but Derry, surely you still need to write business plans for banks. Well, no, the banks are still asking for those words, typically. Okay, show us a business plan. Banks do not read the business plans. Let's just be clear that I've got a lot of friends who are in the banking system. They're asking for a business plan. What they really want is a plan. Now, how you give them to that, and this is where the one-page plans come into play, is another matter. And I have raised millions. A big part of what I do within strategy is raising capital. I've raised millions in the last 10 years, not using business plan, by using decks. Now, strategy on a page is a lead part to that, but you actually have a deck behind it. And when I say a deck, that means a PowerPoint presentation, something visual. You want to see stuff that is going to engage you, not a boring business plan that's going to put you to sleep after page 6. So let's get straight into point 1, is why business plans are dead. It's because people don't read them. Be honest with yourself. Do you read the business plans? And if you do, which page do you read? I've asked this to audiences all over the world. I've had thousands and thousands of responses, and the same responses are there all the time is, you read the executive summary. Right? That's the point. The only page that gets read is the executive summary. All the rest is fluff and nonsense. And if you're any out there who's for the business advisors or the angels or whatever watching this, what do you read? You read the exec summary, then you flip to the back to look at the numbers to see if it makes any sort of sense, and you want to look at the management team. So let's just really be clear on who's the business plan being written for. A lot of people who like writing business plans are actually writing them for themselves. And I'm good with that, by the way. If you really like them, that's great. However, most people, moving on to point 2, is you won't execute on them. So that's the next big block with business plans, is business plans are a nice idea, but they don't get executed. So for me, any sort of formal planning document needs to be moving to, okay, and this is what we're going to do this month. This is the execution of it. A business plan without execution is just an idea. So many times in my career have I asked somebody, and by the way, I don't see many business plans these days, but going back a decade, 15 years, I used to say, do you have a business plan? And they'll go, oh yeah, I do have someone. And they go and shuffle around. This was before the full advent of computers. They used to shuffle around and pull out a big tome from a drawer somewhere, blow the dust off it, and go, yeah, we wrote this about 18 months ago. And they'll flick through it and they go, God, if we'd have done half the stuff we said we were going to do in this plan, we'd be awesome right now. Because we write it, it's out of date, and then we move on. All right, so that's the second point. The third point is this out of date bit. It's the speed of strategy. Things have speeded up massively in the last decade. You could write a business plan in the 1980s, which would have been really relevant actually in the 1980s, because you could be around in business for 10 years and things haven't moved that much. Whereas now, if you think you're writing a business plan and for the next 10 years, good luck with that, because the speed of strategy has gone so fast. You need to be agile. The moment you write it, it's out of date. Without agility and being able to flex the plan and execute the plan, the business planning is pointless. And it's also a futile kind of dogmatic exercise if we're not very careful. That's the third point. Point number 4 is, it's not culture. So many business plans, it's a plan, and it's also very one-dimensional, right? So plan is, whoever writes the plan will put their own bias into the plan. So if you are a technician business owner, which most people are, i.e. you're really good at something, you're the film guy, right? Or you're a painter, a plumber, a baker, whatever it may be. You're really good at that bit. So your whole plan will be written from that perspective, which means you lack the other perspectives. You won't be writing from the marketing perspective or the sales perspective or the cash or the talent perspective, and you miss culture, because culture's not in the page. Now for me, values, what you stand for as a business, and the culture aspect, the brand and the culture is critical. And if that's not in the document which you're working off, in the live document, you just really missed a massive element of what I think the plan should be and what we should be putting on the page, as I call it. So, and the culture leads nicely into the why. This was, for me, was the massive epiphany in all of the work I did in my own businesses and advising many other businesses. Now, I only came to this, I think I was on my 10th or my 12th business. I've had a number of small businesses. A lot of them were in the property sector. And I was advisory. I've been advisory on boards for a very long time. So it was, I think I must have been advised around about 100 businesses at this point. And I was like, oh my God, it's the same stuff over and over and over again. But I hadn't, the only reason I spotted it was because I'd seen so much. When I'd only had one business, you don't know. So if you've only run one business or two businesses, you've just seen one or two businesses. I've worked over 300 boards now, and I've seen thousands of businesses over the years from the stages and the other work that I've done in group capacity. It's the same stuff. And it was always the why. Purpose was always missing, and it's not in business plans. You don't talk about the why in business plans. Talking about the solution and the problems and the plan, but it's the why. Why do we exist? What's the real essence of what this is all about? It was never there, and it was never coming out of the executive summary either. Only a few plans along the way really hit it, but I'm talking about a couple out of the thousands I've seen. So without the why, what the hell's the plan? A business plan without missing the why is just, well, it's a futile exercise for me, because you could be building the wrong thing if the why is not right. So the why must be in there. And the final thing, number 6, is business plans miss the now. We talked about execution, but we've got to really bring it down to the now. And we also bring it into the now across what I call the spectrum of strategy. Because typically, business plans don't get down to, and this is what I'm going to do this month. And that's what we've got to get down to. But not just, this is what I'm going to do this month, I'm just going to do this operational bit. No, what are you going to do this month in marketing? What are you going to do this month in sales? What are you going to do this month in operations? What are you going to do this month in finance? What are you going to do this month in talent? Every month. That's what it was missing. It was missing the consistency across the spectrum. It was missing the consistency across the now, i.e. we need to be executing all of the time. So that's my beliefs. This is what I stand for. I've been going against business plans. And why? Let's just face it, majority of the people watching this video, you hate writing them anyway. So why write them? If you don't like them, and so many people have come to me going, it's almost like I've freed them. It's like, oh, do you mean I don't have to write a business plan? You don't. But you've got to go to work on the page, strategy on a page. That's the new tool for the new age of business. And we deal with everything we've just talked about above. It's an open source methodology. It's available to you, right? I bought the rights back off the book. The book's available to you. So it's my gift back to the world, because I wish I'd have had it the decades ago when I came into business. And what do we cover? We cover all that stuff that's not usually in the business plan. We dial you in on the why, the big why of business. Give you the vision and the values, what you stand for and what's the culture you're building here. Unique selling proposition, promise in the market space, and the positioning you're taking in the market space. That's all just on the left-hand side of the page. Then we move you through the spectrum. Marketing, sales, operations, cash, talent. In the long term, medium term, short term. And by the way, for most of you, long term, 1 year. And I'm good with that. A lot of people, the 3-year plans have gone out so far now, like, really, is that, you don't even know what's going to happen in 6 months, let alone 3 years in a lot of industries right now. And finally, we bring the numbers in. We have 8 indicators. What are the numbers that drive your business? They're your numbers, not just 8 numbers we've picked. We show you how you select them for you. And more importantly, every single month, it's back to accountability, back to what are you doing this month and how are you executing the plan. Strategy on a page. For me, it's the new tool for the new world of business. And it's one page. I've even made pictures out of it. You can't get any easier than that. But there's a depth to the page. And the depth is totally dependent on how far you're willing to take it. So come and join us. It's the revolution in the strategic planning process. Strategy on a page, freeing you from those old business plans that we all hate so much.